Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. The direct purchase and pricing question line from you to me and my hand-picked crew for your purchase questions about buying this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. Email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing the 2017 to present Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra 41mm in stainless steel. The watch measures 13.3 millimeters thick and lug-to-lug, 47.7 millimeters with pivoted end links. The lug-to-lug dimension is the true width across the wrist. 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Let's take a quick look, and you can see the watch sits easily on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, comfortable and flat. It actually wears lower than its thickness, easily sliding under a cuff, and being only 47.7 millimeters lug-to-lug, I can recommend it for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. It's a comfortable piece, a good looking piece, and full steel automatic, full bracelet, and 150 meters water resistant. It is a versatile, wear it all the time kind of watch. The Seamaster Aqua Terras were redesigned in 2017, and they bowed in 2002 as the successor to the old Seamaster 120s. So those in turn were the successors to the original Seamaster, a highly water-resistant dress watch that qualified as an all-arounder, neither sports watch nor formal. And this watch takes after those, being the surf and turf Seamaster, not a diving tool. The bracelet is handsome, polished outer faces. You can see that there are polished centers, satin flanks, staggered size, as well as alignment and finish, many individual removable links fixed by screws on both sides. Also note the presence of a half link for fine adjustments. You have a double folding clasp, quite crisp, twin trigger release. You can see it's a sequential close. One side goes down before the other, and it's of high polish internally. You can also see that on the underside, this is a sports watch bracelet. There are big gaps between the links, not on the top, but on the bottom, to vent the wrist and avoid pinching skin or pulling hair. The case will be familiar to Omega fans, as you'll instantly recognize the lyre-style lugs that turn both inward and outward at their terminus, polished bevels that swell at the ends and thin out at the mid-case. One of the changes for 2017 was the arrival of no guard profile, as the crown, which is conical and actually narrower as it approaches the case, is now more exposed to allow for easier access. Omega correctly reasoning that if you manage to shear off the crown while the watch is on your wrist, you're probably missing a wrist, so no guard is necessary and the crown is easier to access. Polished conical bezel, as you can see, with a satin finished mid-case on both sides. It's a handsome look, and we've gotten familiar with this case since the mid-1960s when it first bowed, but we have new news on the dial. Changes for 2017. We have a sort of silver blue metallic that spreads out in sunburst fashion over the dial, but we also have a new horizontal teak deck that runs from 9 to 3, no longer top to bottom. Applique indices, Omega logo and marquee. We have a broad hour style minutes hand, a few shocks of cyan blue, the varnished hand for the seconds at center, and then the quarter Arabics for the minutes and seconds. You'll note that there's now a date down at 6 rather than 3. And the timepiece features a few refinements to allow you to set it more precisely. There is the screw-down crown to allow 150 meters of water resistance, and if you pull it out all the way, hacking or stop seconds. Whereas if you pull the crown out to its intermediate position, you have the ability to move the hour hand independently while you're traveling. Note how the watch continues to keep time. You can even jump the date forward or backwards depending on whether you're traveling east or west. Screw the crown back down. Let's roll it all over. New for 2017, a new movement. Caliber 8900, the Maytas Master Chronometer successor to the original 2007 Caliber 8500. 60-hour power reserve, twin mainspring barrels. The main benefit there is the longer reserve and also the resistance to losing amplitude after 24 or 48 hours. That's a problem with single barrel movements. This one doesn't have that. You have the hacking seconds and the time zone function, 39 joules. Note the full balance bridge anchored on both sides with a free-sprung index for shock resistance and a silicone hairspring for anti-magnetism, part of the master chronometer test devised by Omega and the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology. That is the Maytas test. It is a test of water resistance, winding efficiency, power reserve, chronometric performance, meeting and exceeding the COSC chronometer standards, but then also anti-magnetism. Very important on these watches. They are effectively amagnetic. You will also appreciate the fact that this bidirectional winder ticks away at 25,200 vibrations per hour because it is a coaxial escapement, and that is the native coaxial rate, a direct and indirect impulse escapement designed to reduce parasitic friction, increase power reserve, improve precision of the watch, as well as delay service intervals. The watch, of course, Warranted 5 years from Omega. A big reason for that is the latest tri-level coaxial. It is now tough and accurate and low maintenance. All of these things at once. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra. And we're back with the Seamaster Aqua Terra, blue by night. Note the fully loomed seconds hand.